The Hidden History of How Civilizations Leap. 1.12. Why this matters now. We live in an era of extraordinary technical ability. We have computational power the medieval friars could not have imagined. We have global communications networks. We have artificial intelligence. We have manufacturing capacities that, in principle, could end material poverty on a planetary scale. By almost any measure, we are not doing what we could. Material inequality in many countries is rising. Trust in institutions, including the institutions that produced our prosperity, is collapsing. Young people in developed countries report rates of anxiety and despair that would have been unthinkable to their grandparents. The technologies we have built increasingly seem to serve narrow interests rather than the broad welfare of humanity. Our most powerful artificial intelligences are owned by a small number of corporations, who iterate them on quarterly cycles, and whose engineers privately admit they do not know whether their work will save or end us. The puzzle is not technical. The technical capacity to lift every life on this planet exists. The puzzle is communal. We are, in one sense, in the position of the Greeks, thought we have the tools. We do not, at present, have the kind of community in which the tools can be released into the lives of ordinary people, on a scale commensurate with their power. This is not a matter of insufficient regulation, or insufficient redistribution, or insufficient political will, though all of those may matter. It is a matter of what kind of community we are. A community of brothers and sisters who believe that knowledge useful to human beings should be available to human beings will use these tools one way. A community of competing factions, each holding its capabilities close, each suspecting the others of the bad faith, will use them another. The first kind of community produced double-entry bookkeeping, the scientific revolution, and modern medicine. The second kind produces, as the Greeks demonstrated and as we are perhaps beginning to demonstrate, magnificent intellectuals that fail to lift the world. This book is, in the chapters that follow, an argument that we are closer to the first kind of community than we know. The path to becoming it more fully runs through a recognition that may at first seem strange. The technology we need is, in important respects, already here. What is missing is the act of publication. What is missing is a passioli. What is missing is the willingness, on the part of those who understand, to make what they understand available, in plain language, to everyone, not for their own glory, but because that is what knowledge is for. This book is not principally an argument that I am that passioli. I am not a friar. I do not have his standing or his erudition. I am a Chinese man who has spent 20 years thinking about these problems, trying clumsily, in 2 languages, in a world that is not yet ready to hear, to point to where the publication might happen. The historical pattern is clear. When the time comes, the publication does happen. The friar appears, the textbook is written. The world, slowly at first, and then irreversibly, changes. In the chapters that follow, I will try to describe what kind of publication our moment requires, what the new double-entry bookkeeping of the 21st century actually looks like, why the substrate for receiving it, the smartphones, the networks, the universal access to one another already exists. I will try to do this in language that does not require the reader to share my background or my faith. I will try to be honest about what I do not know and humble about what I claim. Most of all, I will try to remember what Pacioli understood. Knowledge is not the property of those who hold it. It is a trust given by the community that made it possible to be returned to the community in usable form. The next chapter begins with a deceptively simple question. What exactly would it mean to publish for our time what Pacioli published for his? Or why the universe itself has a preference, and why that preference is visible?